a super confident coach, entrepreneur, and books authors as well. Yeah, it sounds like that my life has been very, very amazing, but I also got a very colorful past. I was in an abusive marriage for 19 years. And since the age of 7, I was being bullied at school all the way to my teenage high school year. And the hardest thing for me to admit 5 months ago was actually to be admit that I was sexually molested when I was young by someone that I trust. So even I wanted to show women and other people out there, doesn't matter how colorful your past is, we are a winner, we're not a survivor. We actually win our past and actually become the way that we are now today. And I have the blessing of being running my own business since the age of 26. So I have run multiple businesses in my life. And I am very blessed that I can combine all that knowledge in marketing, business, and day-to-day running plus customer service into my coaching business, and have been thriving instead of just surviving. So that's actually a very, very big blessing.
Wow, that's incredible. Like, if just that the experience and the past that you've been able to win until now is very inspiring. So thank you so much for sharing that, because I know that, I mean, even with my past and a lot of other people, it is very hard to share something that's deeply painful. So thank you for being vulnerable.
Oh, no problem. I believe that being a coach, the first thing that we have to overcome ourselves is to look at our past, not from a place of pain, but instead from a place of learning. What have we learned in our journey? And when we can actually truly do that, that's when we can become empowering other people. Because for us to understand the need, we must first understand it ourselves. Once we understand it ourselves, then we pass that knowledge on. A lot of coaches actually think themselves as, oh, I just become a new coach. I don't know what I'm doing. How do I get started from zero? I really don't know what I'm doing. A lot of people don't realize that they're not true. From like, for whatever age you are in, your life is actually filled with experience. From the books that you read, to the people you met, the job that you have done, all those little things that you ignore or did not realize, those ones are actually experience that we use and for in our coaching business. It could be someone that our YouTube video that we watch from Tony Robbins, that actually gets stayed into our mind, and we actually use that now to actually coach other people. So for coaches who thinks that they are completely new, they don't know what they're doing, first, reach from within. Check themselves on what sort of experience do they have. I actually got a little graph for my clients there to actually ask them about their life. Like, it's called My Life, My History, and My Achievement. By doing that graph, it actually helped me personally to realize what achievement have I done in my life, in my personal life as well as my professional life. Because when I was in depression, there was one stage that I completely forgot what I have done in my life. Not until one of my mentors actually says, so now write down what have you done in your life that you were proud of. As I was actually writing it down, my tears was actually coming out of my face. I completely forgot all the achievement that I have done. I've been on interview, magazine, stages, competition. I done all of that, but I forgot it because I was so within myself in my depression state that I can't see that, and I didn't value myself. I can't see the achievement, and I didn't give myself that pat on the shoulder and say, hey, Martha, you did a good job. You need to actually find yourself again and actually believe that you are that person that you are being congruent in. So come back to you, come back to within yourself and believe in yourself. And that's how my confidence come back up and being able to shine through.
Wow. Yeah, incredible. I love what, I don't know. One sec. Don't call me. It's supposed to be, I put the phone on silent and then it's still calling. Okay. Let me just put that away.
See,
see,
it's not recorded.
This is why it's live. I might have to take, we'll see. It's my partner that's calling me. So hope he's okay. Okay, so you mentioned in terms of the achievements you had forgotten. right? Because of all the depression. And I resonate so much with you. I've been through depression myself, and I've also been through burnout through the corporate world. And I find that it's very easy to forget because you do so much. And I think with what I've seen of from what you've told me as well, that you are a workaholic. And I feel that way as well. Like when you told me that, I was like, oh yeah, I really resonate with that. And the thing about, I think, the fast-pacedness, like the fact that we love working, is that it's easy to just go through the motions and to just, you know, keep ticking the boxes. And being a high achiever, right, it's easy to forget and to celebrate the wins as well. So
and also it was one of my escape as well, because in my marriage I was so unhappy. So I've completely shift my focus into my work, and I worked so hard, and I went to places that I never imagined that I could go. I was actually flown to Paris for a photo shoot because of my job, that I could never even thought that I could afford it to actually go and actually do that. So my journey in life is like that. Oh, whenever I wasn't happy in my personal life, I actually focused on my work. So that was actually my joy. So when I actually look back to it now and as a reflection, I use work to actually fill up my emptiness and things the way that I don't get at home, which is acknowledgement, appreciation, gratitude. I got that from work. So I spend so much effort and become a complete pure workaholic. I have friends that have literally, I have not seen their kids from the day they're born. They're probably 7 or 8 now. I still haven't seen them. And it's because my work is always on a weekend. I used to only work 2 days a week. That's only on the weekend because I work on weddings. And it really affects you as a person, and it affects you a lot in your mental state as well. So I'm grateful that for me, for this transition, and also meeting my current partner, that he's heavily invested in self-development and coaching as well. That really inspired me, and I have very high respect for him in what he's actually doing. So that helps me to realize that life is more. And one of the reasons why I love doing in the wedding industry is I love seeing women feeling confident and beautiful about themselves. It doesn't matter what size, shape, age, nationality we are. It's all about having that confidence in believing ourselves, hey, I am beautiful just the way I am. So I love the job of being a makeup artist, to actually give them that, even just for one day. And ever since I've been actually going into coaching, I realize now that I can make people feel good, not just for one day. I can help them to understand that they are beautiful every single day. So if you also want to feel this amazing beautifulness, I can definitely share a little tip to you. And it's so easy. What I do every single day, before I look up to the mirror, I actually set into my mind and say, I'm beautiful. As soon as I do that,
affirming that,
I have that filter on my eyes. So I stop seeing the open pores. I stop seeing that pimple that is coming out, and I stop seeing those dehydration lines on my forehead. It immediately gives me a filter, an acceptance of the way that I am, in the age that I am. I can finally age gracefully without worrying about when is my next Botox.
That's a wonderful tip, and a very super simple one as well.
Very
just
simple.
looking in the mirror and affirming that. And I think that's even better than going on the phone and putting the filter on Instagram, right?
Yeah. the filter is here because
it
everything
comes in the mind.
From the mind. And when you believe in something, then they have meaning. If you don't actually give a meaning, nothing has a meaning. So we are the one who can control that, of what we think, what we see, what we hear.
Great. That's excellent. Excellent that you shared that. So I want to move into the imposter syndrome that we spoke about. So now let's maybe take a step back and explain because you mentioned to me that this is something that you see quite a lot, that happens with a lot of people, even myself. Like, as I go onto this coaching journey, there are times when I feel like an imposter. Right. So, and I'm sure a lot of people who are either starting their businesses or doing something new feel this way. So, first of all, can you describe or explain from your experience, like what is like your definition of imposter or imposter syndrome?
I feel like that a lot of people, when they're going into something new, that was including myself as well, we often value ourselves a lot less than what we are worth. So we have this thinking that we are not as good as someone else because we set our benchmark too high. We did not give ourselves the acceptance of, hey, you know what? I'm doing the best that I can. And it is the way that I am now. And I'm learning every day. And making mistake is part of the journey. So that's how I see the imposter syndrome. It's not so much that, hey, we need to be the next Tony Robbins or Glenn or whoever it is. It's more about us being the better version of ourselves than yesterday. But when we first starting to try something, it is very hard for our brain to click that, hey, you know what? We only need to be one chapter in front of our clients. That's all we have to do. I'm not teaching Tony Robbins. So if I'm not teaching at that level, there's a lot more people that I can actually teach to share my knowledge with. We all, as a workaholic, someone who is a high achiever like you and me, we always want to know everything in the world. And that perfectionism actually comes in. Am I perfect enough? Is what I've written actually correctly? Like, did I do the good job? I probably needed to ask 10 people before I will post something. Or did I actually record that 2-minute video in 5 hours? Because I take it 2 million times before I have the confidence to do it. And what is that doing to us is to actually stop us from moving forward, to stop us putting that action. Because from a very young age, we've been told that we need to do the best that we are. But in saying that also, it gives us tremendous pressure of having to be perfect. We did not realize that doing the best that we are does mean include making mistakes. We didn't actually give ourselves that mistakes to allow us to grow. So for other people out there that I would love to share that, don't be afraid of making mistakes. I always smile. It's because I make mistakes all the time. I even did a post called the Mistake Creator, and I admit it. I admit that I make mistakes, and smile and keep going. If you need to go for an emotional cry, go for it. I love crying now because I went to one stage I couldn't cry for more than 30 seconds. So I value the chance that I can actually express emotion. So if I have to do that, do it. Doesn't matter. Then just come back and fight for another day. And that's just how life is. Because the more experience we get, the more chances that we are going to make mistakes. But the more mistake we make, it will become more successful we will be.
Yeah, great. Because I want to add on to that, and the way that I see in terms of mistake, and I love what you said that, you know, we hadn't actually created that whether it's that space or the extra, you know, allowance for ourselves to make a mistake. And that when we're a child, if we think back to when we were born and growing up, right? I always think, how would I ever know how to walk unless I had stumbled all the way from lying down to crawling to walking and falling down many times. And I don't see that it as mistakes, because I've learned from all the different learnings is that it's not really the mistake, but it's just a learning. So one of the phrases that I like to think is that when people talk about like failure, that failure is actually just feedback, and it's actually how you pick yourself back up and what you take from the learnings and the feedback and to be able to take that forward determines, I guess, your success or the path that you lead.
Definitely. And as human, we often worry about the fear of judgment and the fear of rejection. So once we believe that we do not need other people's validation to have happiness, that's the only time that we can start accept ourselves and give ourselves a little bit more leniency. Because without giving us that leniency, that validation, and that approval, we can't feel confident in what we're doing. We must accept ourselves the way it is and say, okay, I need to improve. Great, there's more things to learn. Wonderful. So tomorrow is another better day. There's something new for me to learn. Instead of looking at it and say, oh my God, I worked so hard for this and I got it in fail. I didn't do the way. I only got 98 marks. I actually didn't win that 2 marks. And I'm like, I'm so bad. Why I can't do it? Stop asking why and start asking, what can I improve? What can I actually do to make this situation better? That's a much better question to ask in our life. What, not how. What can I do to get things better? What can I actually learn from this experience? What can I do to improve my chances next time of getting the 100 marks, if 100 marks is what you want it to be?
Yeah, interesting. Because I think before you said the what, I was thinking about the how. My mind automatically went there, and I think that that's quite common as well, because everyone is always asking how, or but you know, but how do I do that? Or like, and that's what really keeps a lot of people in fear, is that they don't know the how, and maybe their why is not strong enough, or it's not clear. So then they don't do anything. So that leads to another thing of like procrastination and maybe just standing in our own ways. So in terms of what we've been talking about so far, the way that I see what you're saying is that with the impostering, is not only is it related to the severe self-doubt that we feel when we are in new situations, but also I see it as being disguised as fear. Like at its simplest form, we feel like a fraud, we feel like a fake, we don't deserve it, or we haven't acknowledged all our achievements, or we think we're lucky to even get to where we are. It's simply the fear that's in the way.
Yeah, and also our humbleness as well. Being an Asian myself, we are taught from a very young age that we should not actually shine too much because we'll be a show off. That's how I've been taught in my young age, that, oh, even you're really good at something, you shouldn't tell everyone. You shouldn't tell anyone, because that you'll be cast off as a show off. And people get very scared when they say that, oh, you got a big ego, she's showing off. Instead of actually say, wow, I'm so happy for her. She got what she have at the moment because of her hard work, not just by luck. Wow, I actually respect her. Instead of thinking of it that way, a lot of people have that insecurity and jealousy inside of them, that they say, hey, she must be lucky to get there. One of the terms that, like, it's funny that you mentioned that word luck, that makeup artists as ourselves, I heard a lot of the times, we hate people telling us that we're lucky to get where we are, because the hard work that we have to put in is like what people say, it takes 10 years to learn something, to do it in 2 minutes. And that's what makeup artists do. And same thing as coaching or any other professional that you may be doing. It took you a long time, a lot of effort, a lot of skill before you can get where you are. And simply by using the word luck, it actually pull down all the effort that you have. I actually change the luck to bless. I'm being blessed. I'm very, very blessed, and I'm grateful. So instead of turning it into luck, I actually say I'm grateful for whatever happened to me. It's like my career, it blew up so big in, like, you know, in my sense that I did not expect to make 20K last month within 5 months of running my business. I did not expect that. And I'm blessed to have the trust of my customers and to have the quality of work to show them that, hey, this is the formula to help you get better. I'm the perfect example to show you that I run this business for 5 months only, and I can actually make 10K within the first 3 months. I make 15K the next month, 20K the month after. It's because that I finally understand the missing ingredients in the equation. Doesn't mean that I can guarantee you 100% success, because I can give you everything you want, but if you don't drink it, you don't follow my step, it doesn't work. Simple as that. And we know as human that we get sidetracked on things. We get procrastination, a little bit of self-doubt, and then we go sidetrack. So we get sidetracked on things and stop action. The key is action. Just do it. Just try it. Just keep going and do it first, and don't worry about making the mistake. It's like, oh, what happened? What happened if other people see me like that and things like that? It's like, okay, I will immediately ask that question. Do they pay your bills? Do they put food on your table? If they don't, what are the rights that they have on you to tell you not to do something?
Like, why are we waiting for the permission? You know,
Exactly.
like you give yourself permission what you want to do. Yeah.
It's two simple things. Do they put food on my table? Do they pay for my bills? If they don't, who are they to judge what I'm doing? I know that I'm not killing people. I'm not doing anything violent. I'm helping, I'm supporting, and I'm being genuine. I can't control who likes me and who doesn't like me. I can't. So if that's the case, I'll rather focus the energy on giving, on contribution, and helping people who needs help. I rather focus my energy on that than worry about, oh, what happened if I upset a part of people? I can't help them get better if they want to be in that mindset. So if that's the case, let me focus on the people who want my help. Simple as that.
There's a lot of people out there who also think that, and even like me, when I started as a very new coach, you want to please everyone, or you think, oh, maybe I can help everyone. But then it's more that as I grow and as we're all sort of on this journey of growth, is that it's learning to be, I suppose, selective, and knowing that sometimes you put yourself out there, you can't really control what happens or what people think. So it's more, well, what I think is taking responsibility as well for your own decision. Like, make a decision, then take responsibility for your path. And that is a big part of, I love what you said about taking action, because that's been the catalyst for my journey. And I've been on the procrastination path for many years in the corporate world. And I think the biggest thing, like, that's why you see the word thrown around all the time, but it's so powerful what taking action, or even a very small action, can lead to bigger results.
Yeah. And also a lot of the time that we procrastinate because we feel the need to be safe. Our brain are naturally wired to keep us in a safe zone, because we only use 15% of our brain function. The 85% is actually on survival mode. So for the brain to actually break through that survival mode, we need that extra effort of action to actually tell our brain, hey, it's safe to try. It's okay if we fall. It's like when a kid learning to walk, you're going to fall a few times. Or when a kid try ice skating, you're going to fall a big time, but why do they still love it? I look at my niece that she learns how to skateboard. I'm so proud of her. I look at her as like, she's fearless. She fall down, broke her arms and everything, and she's still on the board because of the love and the passion. It actually related to their value. They feel freedom. They love it. And why can't we do the same as when we are adult? The more older that we get, the more restriction that we put onto ourselves and stopping ourselves from becoming who we really want to be. So why not actually go within and ask ourselves, what makes us happy? What do we want in life? What actually makes me smile at the end of the night? And I finally find that out from a lot of soul searching, that one of my biggest things is actually contribution. It's about giving. When I can give people, I feel so much better. It's like I've been doing a lot of study in my coaching business, and I literally only work about 2.5 weeks last month, and this month exactly the same as well. When I'm actually in classes, after 5 days, I actually feel a little bit sad because I miss coaching. I miss talking to people. I love the fact that I be able to solve their problem. So yes, my phone always will be like, got text message here and there because 80% of my clients are actually overseas. But I love it. I don't mind. And when I have time, I'll reply them. It's simple as that. It's all about giving your family, friends, your client, your business, that extra care that you want to give without sacrificing your mental health state, first thing. Second thing is family, the people that you care about. Because coming from a pure workaholic background, I'm a recover workaholic. So now
me too.
We cover the workaholic. Some days that we cover workaholic. Put your comments down in there so we can.
Yeah, who else? Come on, we know you're out there.
We know you're out there, so we want to put that like workaholic cup together. And the truth is that from a recover workaholic, I finally value the time that I can be with the family, be with my partner. And it's so lovely to actually connect with people again. And I think COVID can have actually brought something out of us as well. We're starting to miss the connection of people. We're starting to miss all the things that is actually happening around us because we've been locked inside. There's actually one of my friends, Margaret, she's actually doing a connection summit. I think it's this weekend. And it's all about like getting connections together. And it's so beautiful because COVID really brought a lot of different experience and changes in us.
Yeah.
And you can choose to look at it in a way that is negative, or you can choose to actually look at it and say, hey, okay, I cannot go out. I can only use Zoom and I can only use phone. Why not make it as a, wow, it's new technology. Wow, I can learn to do this. And look at it that way instead of, oh, I'm so sad. I haven't seen them for so long. It's my dad's birthday and I can't even actually blow a candle with him. Instead of actually doing that, I actually told my parents that and say, hey, you know what? You learn to use video on your phone. This is amazing, Dad and Mom. This is so cool. And once we change that mindset into how we see things, everything will starting to come better. It's like that when you're in a high emotional state, when you're positive, every single thing you see become positive. But when you're in a not a very good state, everything around you is like a needle that is poking in your eyes.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried that experience? I'm sure some
not
of
really,
us.
Not really like poking my eyes out like physically, but I know the feeling. Yeah. Definitely. I think like there's two ends of the spectrum where I see it is that it's easy to be in the spiral. Like you could be in the negative. If you're already on the negative end, you tend to just you can go further down the pit. But then if you're in the positive and you see things a certain way, then it can only sort of build. So it depends on which end. But in saying so, because I've done a lot of sort of learning on happiness as well, is that the key to life is that we get bombarded with a lot of media and a lot of cultural expectations of like, oh, how to be happy or like be happier and all that. But my personal belief, not for everyone, is that it's an equilibrium. So there's a term called equanimity, but basically life is like a flow up and down, right? And if you can't always be happy, so for example, if someone died, right, do you want to be sort of standing there and smiling and being really joyous, right? The only way that you really know how to be happy is if you experience like the lows as well. There's different levels. But yeah, that's another conversation. But I'm just saying, that like to be able to experience the highs and lows is really sort of that is the joy of life.
It is like a vibration. If you believe in like law of vibration, law of attraction, it's all about actually having that vibration. And we know, see how my hand naturally do it? That's actually up and down. So if we don't actually have the vibration, our life and everything will be very still. So it is okay to make the mistake to go into a low and then we come back up because we learn. So that's actually how life is, a vibration. And when our vibration is higher, we tend to attract more higher vibration in. So maintaining your vibration high is the key. And again, don't ask how to do it. Ask the question, what will make my vibration go higher? Simple term, what will make me happy? Is putting on a lipstick make me feel better? Is washing my hair make me feel better? Put on a nice clothes make me feel better? Then do it. Sometimes like it's like if ice cream make you feel better, have one, okay? Motivation is all about having motivation, okay? And if that does, then do it. Like, why not? Like, don't have to give yourself so much negativity and it's like, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't do this. And it's like, yeah, a little bit of control is good. Just motivation as well, because we're human. And if we don't have fun, why?
Everything in moderation is good. You know? And it's okay.
Control.
It's okay to feel low, because then when you feel really low and then you have something that's really positive that happens, then you're able to fully embrace that feeling as well, and you differentiate. It's like that difference, the positive and the minus, that you then are able to differentiate. Is this actually a positive experience? Is this actually worthy of a celebration? Versus if you were always just like this all the time, you wouldn't be able to know like what is good or what doesn't feel good as well.
Yeah. It's all about making ourselves just a journey of learning. Simple as a way of putting it, is really a journey of learning. Whatever it is, give it a try. If I try, it's like, oh, I'm trying exercise. Oh no, I really didn't like actually running barefoot on the footpath. Okay, next time that, hey, you know what? I still actually want to learn to run. Then maybe I will buy a pair of shoes to actually run in instead of running in barefoot. It's all learning to actually make ourselves. It's like one keyword that when I was actually going for my trauma therapy, one word that actually really helped me was try to be comfortable in uncomfortable. When you can do that, you can truly excel in any situation you're in. It's not about being in a very high state, but it's about being the fact that feel comfortable in the place of uncomfortable, then you will actually be okay in that situation.
And that's part of growth. That's where the progress and, you know, the feeling of growth comes from, when there is a slight discomfort. Or for some people, they jump straight in, but some people is a bit of a progress as well. Otherwise, you feel this. If you feel the same and you're doing the same thing every day, like Groundhog Day, then you then get to a stage where it becomes you content, or you're just not moving forward, and that's when people get stuck.
Yeah, and boredom is one of the big things that while people actually don't like their life, because they're so bored in what they're doing. So having that little bit of uncertainty in our life is actually quite fun, because it's something that we don't expect. Like, you know, I love getting surprises. Why not? Because it's something that is different to what we're doing. Why do we like to go on holidays? It's because we can see something that is outside our normal circle, and we actually have that spike coming in. It's like part of six core human need is, some of them is certainty and some of them is uncertainty. And it's important to actually have a balance and motivation on it, to actually make sure that we can actually feel better about ourselves. Again, it's not the how, it's actually what to do to actually make up to that state. So from today onward, I hope our viewers over here stop asking how, but ask what. And use that term instead. That will actually give you a lot more motivation and a lot more control as well. Because I hate being controlled by outside, could be a control freak, but I would much rather be inspired by the things that is outside on what I can do instead of how to do things.
Yeah, I love that, because I find that, like, I used to work at the bank, and so we, you know, have to do all the calls, right? And, you know, when you call the bank, there's always like, how can I help you, right? Very broad, and it can get like, they can get quite heated, like emotional, and it brings up a lot of things for people. But I started asking the question, what can I help you with? And it just narrows it down, like it's very specific. So, and it's helpful, because then people are able to maybe even take the emotion out and really think about, what is it at the moment is one small step that I can take towards the dream, or towards something that I really love to do.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah, change is a very big word. Like we all say, I'm going to change my diet for a week. I'm going on a shake diet. It happened for one day and next day never happened. So if instead of actually using the word change, why not progress? This is my progress map. So one day I will do this with that much, and then one day I will do this. And then when it's actually become the fourth day, that's when it become to turn into a habit. So if you're doing something that you want to do or changing your lifestyle, start actually do it 4 days. The 5th day, you will feel a lot better.
Yeah, excellent advice. I love that. Okay, cool. So we spoke a lot about the impostering, the fear, and taking action. Now what I'd like to do is actually go back to something you mentioned about the contribution, because I know you love contributing and serving your community and helping people. And one thing there is that from what I've researched, that when you flip the mindset to contributing and how and what can you serve, or how can you serve, whatever the term is, that really helps with getting rid of the self-doubt, because I think instead of the focus being on you, it becomes on other people and how you can add value. So if that focus shifts, then you're able to then maybe take the action.
Yes, totally. Because when you actually decide, it's like that I finally started my own nonprofit organization, my charity. When I first think about it, when I first had that idea, my boyfriend inspired me to actually do that, because one of his dreams is to open a soup kitchen for the homeless. And then he inspired me and said, hey, I wanted to open my own charity to actually coach women to actually help them from a low situation to a higher, a better place, or to see a better path. And that has been in my mind for a little bit. And not until the last month that I finally decided, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter how much money I have. It doesn't matter how much time I have. It is about giving. It's about actually contribution. That is actually satisfying one of my core needs. So I'm like, okay, if I'm doing that, then I will do everything. And I started to learn to pull powers together. I'm working with an amazing lady, Mandy, in South Africa, to actually open this charity together with my partner as well. So we're going to actually run that charity. And I'm actually doing a confidence summit as well in February. And that's when everything is actually going to be launched. And it's funny that when we actually stop telling ourselves that we can't do it, then we can do it. It's about, okay, this is what I have to do now. So what resources do I need to pull in together and actually get it happen? Because I believe that a teamwork can actually give you much more result than actually doing it yourself. A lot of people, like even for new coaches like me, I remember when I first started, I was like, no, I must do everything myself. I didn't have a lot of money. I don't know how much money I'm going to make in this business. And then I don't want to invest. I don't want to spend too much. Within 2 months, I actually changed my mind and actually find someone else, which is Dawn. I actually talked to her a lot about actually doing all my funnels and links and things like that. As soon as I'm willing to invest on that money, everything's starting to change. I've got a lot more opportunity coming up, because you must invest to actually get bigger result. It's not just about money. It's actually about how much effort am I willing to invest on me before I will actually get a result. So don't be afraid to actually invest on yourself, because I'm one of those people that, I want to buy my partner a gold watch. I'll go and buy it. Me looking at that $10 shirt, I'm like, Jesus, that's $10. I have to think about it now. If it was $8, I would buy it, but $10, maybe a little bit over my budget. Just put on my partner a gold watch for $1,000. What the hell am I thinking? So like, think about it, little things like that. And especially for like very motherly people like myself as well, and you, we're very giving. So we always worry about other people first instead of us. So recently I've been talking to emotional therapist, and he actually pointed out one of the points that, hey, you're very giving, but have you given to yourself? Have you even asked yourself, what do you need to actually fill your cup first? It's like when you're at the airplane. I wasn't literally, honestly, before I actually become a coach, I was a little bit against sort of thinking that, what? I got a child next to me and I don't put the face mask on them first, and then I have to put it on myself first before I give it to the child. Oh my God, what kind of thinking is that? Like, you know, of course the child come first. But I didn't realize that what happened, that if I don't look after myself first, don't put that mask on myself first, that I don't even have the chance to give them a mask. So what are they going to do? They're going to suffer. So I finally understand that why they actually asked me to put my mask on first so I can help other people. So ask yourself this question tonight. Have I been putting the mask off on myself first before giving it to other people? Because we can only give when we are at our best. Doesn't have to be 100%. 70% is okay. But as long as that we look after ourselves, that mask is on, we have the oxygen, then we can give.
Yeah, that I love that you brought that up, because it's something that I think I bring up in all of my interviews, really, that concept that is just, it's such a like a real concept that is just, it's simple yet so hard to implement, I suppose, until someone's really realized it for themselves. So yeah, I'm really glad that you shared that tonight. And you know, put the mask on. Everyone would put your mask on yourself before you put it on others and your child as well. Yeah.
And I know it's hard because we've always been taught from a very young age that we must give. It is actually important to give. And I'm such a giving person. I must worry about other people first. Yes, it's nice to actually care for other people. But if you can't actually look after yourself, how can you give more? One of my students that I actually coach, she was in she's do social service. She will use all her spare time to go to the soup kitchen or any other charity that she can name off, instead of actually worrying about her own study and her own living style. After doing coaching with me, she, from 4 sessions only, she completely changed her mindset. She realized that once she have more within, once she earn more, she live better, she sleep better, she can actually give out more to the people who actually need her. So now within 7 sessions of coming with me, she become the chairman of the 2 biggest political party in South Africa. And she's the person who I'm actually working with my charity company. And that's the shift, that once you change that mindset of first, it's not about being selfish. Like, you know, a lot of people like to put that selfish thing on you. Like, you know, selfish. It's like, no, you need to look after your basic core need first. And then you can go and help someone else. For me, it's like, I must feel blessed for you to come and take before I can actually give out. It's like, oh, like I hear a lot of people say, oh, they're takers. Oh, they always take advantage of me. They always take advantage of me. I'm being used and all of that. And I'm like, wonderful. You know why? Because you got extra on you. That's why you can give. That's a blessing. And they're like, really? I said, yeah, because only when you have extra, then you can give. Wonderful that you have this blessing. It's just a very simple mind shift. And then you're like, oh, yeah, it is true. So I must first fill my cup first before I can give it to other people. Not in a selfish way or anything, but you must look after yourself.
And that's how we become more generous, as part of the generosity, the contribution. Otherwise, you won't be able to be generous. You'd be like counting your pennies, or like just doing all the little things. And that you know, at the end of the day, it's not the bigger picture as well. Possibly.
If you want to, it was actually a learning when I actually heard that Mother Teresa is actually a billionaire.
Oh, really? That's a new fact. I didn't know that.
She is. She's a very, very good marketer. And that's her power in marketing to actually help more people. Money is not evil. A lot of people feel, oh, I must money is evil. Money is evil. Money is not evil. Money is only evil when you choose to do evil.
Yeah, it's a decision that you do with the tool. I see it as just a tool, or even take it further. I see it as an exchange of energy. That's all.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You give and take.
A lot of people, we have a lot of, oh, she's looking like Instagram, that looks so fake, and like all the tan and thing. I'm like, makeup is only a tool. It's not what make her feel good only. It doesn't matter how much she put on. Like, who cares? Like, she's the one who's wearing it. So, why do we have to keep judging people? We all have these problem glasses on. These problem glasses like to actually check everyone out instead of turning it and looking it from within. Because it's when we lack of something, we like to put on the problem glasses and pick out everything that is outside. So when you change your problem glasses to a rainbow glasses, with rainbow coming out, like everyone imagine that at the moment, rainbow coming out with rainbow on the side, and you can see rainbow everywhere. It's that to be positive and happy.
See, I see the creative side coming out of you, with all the rainbow glasses. I love that, because I'm in finance, right? So I guess my mind doesn't think that way in terms of, I don't think of the glasses, but I think of, for me, what I teach my students is that it's more about when you judge others, it's more like how you sort of judge yourself. It's a reflection of how you think of yourself. So if you lack something, or you're jealous or insecure, and you're judging someone, it's more, well, that's probably what you think of yourself. So it's more of like looking in that mirror, and is that really sort of what you want to give out in the world?
It's I admit that I have terrible written English and grammar, and even in my post that there's a lot of missing S's and missing D and things like that. And at first I was actually quite upset about it, because I feel like that, oh, I'm an adult already, but I'm still not good enough. I'm not good enough. I am not good enough. But then one day that I went and actually do some NLP training, and they said that if we don't give meaning to something, it does not have meaning. As soon as that I cry after for a week about it, yes, I'm a confident coach. Yes, I was crying about it for a week. I admit it, I'm very genuine. I'll tell you everything. And then after that, I changed my mindset, and guess what? A publisher in America actually saw my book and actually wanted to publish it. So now I have a book that is actually published in the process of working. And then I'm on my second book already about coaching. And I'm on the process of writing my third book too. So stop letting other people.
No limitations. If there are any limitations you put is on yourself.
Exactly. And just like, I understand the love and the great, yet they're just trying to help. I'm very grateful for that. Don't get me wrong. Anyone who helped me with my English, I'm truly grateful because I know that I make a lot of mistakes in my grammar and stuff. But and then also it's like, you know what? I kind of like to be the the one who doesn't not have any grammar or English, and I still make this much and I can contribute this much as well. Why not? Let me be me. I don't need to be in a box. I don't need to be in a thing, because being different has always been me. Yes, it did got me into a lot of trouble when I was younger. I've been bullied since a very young age, like I mentioned before, but it did not stop me from being who I am. Yes, I got blue and green hair. Yes, I got short hair. I don't have earrings on because I just don't like them. It doesn't mean that I'm not a woman. It doesn't mean that I'm not feminine. It doesn't mean that I don't love my partner or you or anyone else out there. It just means that I'm allowed to be who I am and be okay with it. That's the main thing. We are all allowed to be who we are, just the way we are. Improvement is a must. Yes, I'm learning more about grammar. Yes, I'm learning more about my English. But it's our learning. It's all just a learning. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. That's the key to a fulfilling life. It's everything is just a learning. Yeah, great message. So now I want to go to because you've been so inspiring in this conversation, and like you've been very genuine and sharing with all of us, and you exude so much confidence, which is what, like, obviously I can see why you do what you do and why you do it so well as well. Can we go into that now as well? Because one of the things is that now that we've talked about the imposter syndrome, and there's it's all about the fear, and we've talked about all that, but how about in terms of confidence? It's something that the term comes up quite a lot, and a lot of people feel that they're lacking confidence in when they do something new, starting a business or whatever it is, right? What's your I guess like one or your biggest shares about how does someone achieve confidence?
It's about doing it and don't worry about making mistakes. I make shitloads of mistakes in my life, and guess what? I smile about it and keep going. That's all. It's all about action. And you don't have to really attach a feeling to that action. When you're actually having a high feeling, high vibration into the action that you do, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes, and then just go again and keep trying. Confident, it does takes time to build. I didn't wake up like this, that I'm like very confident about myself. Even with my name that I actually first put out, my boyfriend, my partner actually suggested to me. I'm like, really? I'm a confident coach, really? Super confident coach? Oh, okay. Then I have to be really congruent in what I do then. And I need to be super, super confident. And guess what? When I actually project it to the world, say, yes, I'm a super confident coach. And I immediately learned to be even more confident in myself. Not in a cocky way, but it's just about being congruent and being confident in what I'm doing and what I'm saying, because I know what I'm talking about. Simple as that. And you, as a business owner, as a coach, doesn't matter that how long you've been doing it. You are just expressing the things that you're learning, the things that you have experienced to the audience that you want to project. You have done nothing wrong. There's no imposter here. You're just being yourself. So have that confidence, that little bit of trust in yourself. Believe that, hey, yes, I went for A, B, C, D, E. Yes, I learned A, B, C, D, E as well. Wonderful. Then use that in your business and believe that, yes, that's the knowledge that you gain. And no one else can take that from you as long as you believe in yourself.
Yeah. Wonderful message. I love everything that you've just said just now, and also the fact that you've they mentioned that, touched on that very important point of like just that you have to, was something that I learnt is that you've already got to be confident before you even have it, because then it comes to you when you're already there, rather than sort of feeling like you're not there.
Yeah.
So I think there is this misconception that people think, yeah, sure, life is a journey, right? It's a journey to be confident and everything. But in terms of when you take action and you are believing that you are already confident in whatever craft that it is that you do, is that the action that you take from that point onwards, you get more comfortable with it. So that point when you said before about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, actually then makes you more comfortable, and then that's progress. And that's
simple.
just the formula of confidence.
Exactly. It's a full circle coming together. That's just like doing a vision board of what you want to do. What do you want your life to be? What you want to achieve? A lot of people do manifestation. I think it's actually really good, because you gotta, once you can imagine yourself being in that position, you can actually go and work towards it. And when you project it to the universe, the universe actually mark it for you and say, okay, and they will give you signs. They always give you signs. You just have to learn to listen to it. It's like, I was talking to one lady from America, and she was like, oh, my life has been like, you know, a little bit here and there and here and there and here and there. I said, wonderful. The universe is giving you sign to go whichever path you want to choose. She said, really? I said, yeah. Me here talking to you is already a big proof. Our audience who actually decided for themselves to click into this link and actually having looking at this podcast, is the universe actually line us up together. You don't have to choose to be here, and no one has to choose to be here as well. But we did. So it is a choice that we make when the universe align us. So be that little bit of bravery, and you don't have to be brave all the time, I promise. It's just that little bit of a step of accepting and believing that, hey, you know what? I can do this. I just need to take that little bit of action and then see what will happen. And then the next step could be a little bit bigger, and a little bit bigger. And we all learn every single day. The worst position to be is to be a victim and an aggressor, which is a blamer. I hear constantly people actually going into that mode. Oh yeah, that happened to me, so I can't do this. Oh, that happened to me, so I can't do that. All that I can't. The more I can't you use, yes, you won't get there, because you are telling your unconscious mind you can't do something. So when you take that out and say, hey, what can I do to achieve that vision I want to do? And back it up with a reason. For example, I said that after COVID, everything is back to normal. I don't have that 14-day quarantine. I'll go to Japan with my partner. I say, like, we're going to Japan. That's on my vision board. I'm going to Japan. So how I'm going to get there? Work hard. Save up. Plan ahead. I went to Japan 8 times already, so I don't really need a Mac to go over there anymore. But it's like, work hard. Go over there. Make sure that we save time to actually do it. And that's simple, because we often have a goal like this. That is so big. Then it's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. There's so many steps everywhere.
So scary.
Okay, it's okay. Like, that's the big goal. So what is the step that I have to take? Again, what is the step that I have to take to go to this goal? And it makes everything so much easier to chew and swallow. Because when you look at things as a pizza and swallowing it at once, of course, you're going to choke yourself. Then why not cut it into slices and look at things one by one? Yes, you can, like, you know, sometimes we get sidetracked and say, okay, but this is related to this. And so it's like, no, that's okay. Let's focus on one slide at a time. And you will notice things become a lot more clear, because once you gain clarity in what you're doing, the step will actually comes to you.
Yeah. You are full of analogies. I love it. Like the pizza and everything. Yeah. I teach that as well, in terms of just breaking it down, because obviously, and you probably know, when you work with high achieving people, especially with women as well, that everything that we've got so much like visualizations or visions and big things that we want to achieve, and it's just so stressful because you just don't know where to start and what to do. So and then that question of the how comes up, and it gets so overwhelming. But when we break it down, and especially with your tip tonight, the what can I do, right? Then that really helps with just small actions, little by little, and over time. What was it? There was something I wrote down. It was consistency over time equals courage.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
yeah, and with that as well is that it's important, like you said, it's important that we can even have a community where, you know, you don't have to do it all by yourself. You can get support in whatever way that you need, and it's okay to ask for help. And the other big takeaway from this that I got was you don't have to ask anyone for permission. You got to give yourself the permission to do the things you want to do.
That's the first thing. It is the toughest one to actually answer, because I was someone who has been in silence for over 35 years. So I do understand that how hard it is to ask for permission, how hard it is to expose yourself and be vulnerable. But if I am someone who has been suffering in silence for 35 years, you can do it too. And that's what my company mission is. No woman should suffer in silence. That we all have a voice. We all can talk. We all can reach out for help. And believe it or not, when I was in this depression stage, I did not know that there was help out there. But once you reach out, there's a lot more help out there than you actually imagine. So don't be afraid to reach out for help. No one will think any less of you if you don't think any less of yourself. Because the only one who can put you down is you. If you don't allow it, nothing can happen to you.
And Martha is living proof of that, from all her experiences to where she is now. So such an inspiring and have a powerful mission in what you do. So I really respect you, and and that it's possible. You know, like the only limits you have is on yourself. So I hope that everyone takes Martha as you know, as a guide as well, that it is your dreams and whatever it is that you want to achieve is possible. You just got to take the little steps as well along the way.
Yeah, a little bit along the way already can actually achieve you a lot. Especially I understand in our coaching industry, it's like someone asked me, oh, there's so many coaches out there. I say, yes, how many hairdressers do you have in the street? How many cafes do you have in the street? Are they closing up yet? No. So why not you have the chance too? We're not there to fight with each other. We're there to help the people who needs help. So don't worry about what your competition or things like that is doing. They are there as a guideline for you. Hey, that's a great idea. Oh, well, maybe I can actually use that too. Learn from each other instead of treating each other as a competition. If I treat Pauline as a competition, I will never be here today. If Pauline treat me as a competition, she will never invite me and all her guests into her program. It's not about competition. It's all about each other.
That's right. And it's like there's 7 billion people in the world, maybe even more now, right? It's like I see that like it's abundant. We've got so much resource. We've got so many connections that people can build now, that there's really nothing unless it's just yourself that's holding you back. So, you know, if there is anything that anyone really wants, then take the steps, take the small little steps to get there. And if you need help, make sure you reach out to Martha and I as well.
Exactly. So like for everyone who is actually have the pleasure of actually sharing your time with us, I really respect your time. And I thank you for the time that you have given to both of us. I'd love to offer a little giveaway to everyone, if it is okay with Pauline.
Yeah,
that I have a book. I have 2 books actually. One is for people who are in a little bit of a pickle. That is a book called Don't Survive, Thrive, Even When Times Are Tough. That book is for people who may need a little bit of inspiration. It's a 2-minute pick-me-up book with little stories about my life and how do I actually get myself out of those pickles. And it's only a 23 pages ebook, so I'm very happy to give it to all of you. I will send you the link later. Another one is, when we become coaches, even doesn't matter how long you've been doing it, we can actually go to a stage of being overwhelmed. because all the technology,
So
all the
much.
information, how much that we want to get better, this and that. I written my new book is called The Golden Tips for New Coaches to Avoid Feeling Overwhelmed. So I'm going to offer the link to Pauline as well for all of your feelers there. Feel free to download that one. It's my gift to you. Again, it's only a 26-page book, so it won't take you 3 days to read it. It will probably take you an hour or two, and it's easy to actually for you to absorb. And the feedback that I've been getting is it's like, wow, I don't feel alone anymore. Other people actually feel the same thing as I did. So I am actually not the weird one. The whole world is weird, so I'm just part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all.
That's
And it's good to feel like that we're human and we make mistakes and we are all learning. It's okay. So those 2 books are for you all to actually have. I'll send Pauline the link later. And hopefully, not hope, we don't hope for things, we will do it. When we actually say that we want to do something, do it. No more excuse. And even that it was just a simple step. It's like, I promised that my therapist that I will actually go for a beach walk tomorrow. I did not have time today, but I'll do it tomorrow for sure. That's my guarantee to myself. And now I project it to the universe. I have to do it tomorroll. I did
you put it out there. Now it's gonna pull you towards it.
Holding me accountable now, so I will go in for that beach walk tomorrow.
Yeah, awesome. So on that as well, one of the things that I keep in my mind when on this sort of journey of growth, and for anyone else who's sort of, you know, thinking about or getting a bit uncomfortable, learning how to get uncomfortable, is that you feel the fear and you do it anyway. That's it. I don't know where I got that from. It's like a lot of people say that, but that's the thing that I keep in my mind.
Yeah. Think of it, fear and faith is exactly the same. It's actually have no difference between a fear and a faith. The only difference is that one is higher vibration, one is lower vibration. So when we change a fear into a faith, that's when you actually have a lot more higher vibration to go to. That's all. And both of them are fake. They're not real because they haven't happened. It's all
manufactured.
We
create our own stories in our minds.
Yeah, so like, you know, what do you choose to do? Do you want to choose fear or do you want to choose faith? And I understand that even with fear, a lot of time is a lot harder to shake. But when you keep asking yourself that question, what can I do to make me feel more comfortable? Not how, but what. That will really change your mind and say, hey, I got all these resources next to me. I can go and listen to a video. I can go and listen to Tony Robbins or listen to one of Pauline's podcasts. Then it will pick you up again. Simple as that.
Love it. Love it. So just a sort of a final note as well, since we're on the topic of you being such a giver and sharing so much value with us tonight, is the work that you do. Would you mind sharing with us, I guess, like what you're working on at the moment?
Sure. Definitely. Basically, at the moment, I do have like 2 different programs. One program is for people who are lacking confidence in their life, relationship, on self-worth. That one is for people who needs a little bit of encouragement and having their mindset will change and their life will change to something that they feel actually they can actually achieve, so they don't feel like a loser all the time. The other program that I have is for coaches, which is called Super Effective Result Formula. I have found the missing ingredients that coaches need to actually want their business to be a lot more successful. So my program there, I have pulled in powers from helping you with social media, helping you with VA support, helping you with writing, helping you with technology. All of that people are not very good at, which is I definitely was not the one that was good at social media and technology. So they all come together as a package for my own package there. So people can actually say, hey, if I want to become a coach, I don't know where to go. Great. Come over and I will actually set you up on your way. The good thing about us is that I actually give result guarantee, because I also was one of those who have went on to courses and been burnt and did not find that it was actually what we expected. So I do actually give a result guarantee that until I help you to get your first paying client in the amount that you want to do, I will continue to work with you until you get there. Simple as that.
Awesome.
So And all the learning that you get is actually all recorded also. So you have like for your lifetime use, it's all there. So feel free to actually take any resources from us. We give you a lot as well to use that you can go directly to use it on your client. So all the support is there. And this is something that I wanted to give back to other people, because at the time that when I was learning, there was a lot of learning as well. And I get enormous support from other coaches. So that's why I put in this package together to help coaches to find the things that they need so they can run a comfortable business, a profitable business, as well as helping more people.
Incredible. Love the 2 program. People got to get onto this.
Forgot, isn't it? I forgot about the summit. In February
tell them
next
about that.
year, we're going to have a super confident summit. What the super confident summit is about is for coaches to actually help them running their business. We have 4 days of summit from the start of the opening of the business to marketing, the daily operation, and how to closing of your business. So we'll have all different topics in every single day. So all of that is coming out very, very soon. And I would love for everyone to actually come and support us. And the proceeds that we get from this summit all will go to a charity, which is called 𝗂𝗽. They actually help African villages to build waterways and a solar system so they can have a better life. So that's the things that I like to do for people. It's not about taking your money and run and benefiting ourselves. It's that how we can all chip in little bit by little bit and help someone else to have a better life. It's not just about simple as giving them a meal. It's about giving their life a chance for a better life.
Yeah. Great stuff. Love that. If you don't mind, you can drop the links like in the comments, so that people can see. And also, lastly, because I know you're on Facebook and everything, but where is the best place for people to get in touch with you if they're interested in any of this?
Easiest way to actually search for Super Confident Coach, you will be actually finding me. I'm the first one on Google if you actually search Super Confident Coach or Super Confident Coaching, or look into Martha Mok, my name there, you'll be able to find me there.
Awesome. Yeah, and your name's in the captions as well, so just click on it, and Martha's pretty responsive, so yeah.
And feel free to download the book as well and accept the gifts that I'm giving you. I love to actually share and connect. And if you ever needed our support, in the book link, there's actually a chance for you to actually contact us, because I do believe in supporting and giving. Don't worry about anything. Just as long as that you need support, just feel free to reach out.
Awesome. I'm going to have a read of those books as well, so we'll touch base on that. No problem. But yeah, such a pleasure to have you on. I'm so honoured to have you as my guest this evening. It's been such a value-packed conversation. I think we nailed the topic out the park. So yeah, great. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Pauline, for having me. And it is actually take a lot of effort to organize things like that. And thank you for putting in so much for all your audience over there, because it is truly valuable and we value your time and respect you as well.
Thank you. I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening and good night, everyone. Signing off.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye.